What did we get today? It is the GameMT E5 handheld from Game Machine, also known as the Jelly Mini 5, also known as the Jerry Mini 5 from Game Console from eVatmaster in Germany. I don't know where this is actually from. I'm assuming China, but this particular one is from our buddy Jaylash, who sent it to me as a mean-spirited joke. But haha, joke's on you, Jaylash. What if I like it? We have our button cover that's not punched out. Okay. And this garish, ugly monstrosity of a mid-90s color scheme. Charging cable. That's purple on the inside, like Pal Kitty. A big old screen protector. And a manual in Chinese. And English. How about that? So let's really just assess the color here. Oh. I know there's people out there right now that are screaming, oh my god, that's ugly, but to me, it's beautiful. And I think that might have to do with when I grew up. Wait a minute, there's something about purple and green or purple and teal that really just speaks to the 90s kid that I used to be. Mighty Ducks. Quack, quack. Oh god, there goes the hat. So, let's take off this little screen protector here. Ew. Ah, it's stuck to my hand. Okay. And the D-pad has a D-pad protector, which is the first time I've ever seen anything like that. Now, there's a little sticker on this plastic thing. Is the plastic thing supposed to go back in? Oh god. That's not a good D-pad. You have a switch type stick. It doesn't click. You have the M button, T and K. Oh. Extremely loud. Face buttons. Volume and power on the side. You have, oh boy, SD card on the top, HDMI out on the top, 2 USB-C ports, and headphone jack on the top. I hate that. And you have, you have these shoulder buttons. I mean, they're awful loud. Sounds like horses. And this middle button that does nothing. It's just there. And then you have a kickstand. Wait a minute. Ow. God, break my thumbnail. I use Band's cheese here. I guess it doesn't want to come out. Wait a minute. There we go. Shouldn't have to get out a pry bar, but it's got a kickstand, so you can set it on an angle and play your games, watch your media, I guess. Now, in addition to being a rough RK3326 equivalent, this is also a battery power bank somehow. This supposedly has a 6,000 milliamp hour large capacity battery. It will do up to 17 watt fast charging, and you can charge this whole thing in just 40 minutes. We shall see. I'm not quite sure which of these is power in and power out, because it says OTG and DC. We're going to find out. This one came with, where's that pry bar? There we go. This one came with a GameMT 32 gigabyte SD card. Okay. Power button on the side. Let's see what happens. Nothing. Is the battery dead? Let's hold it down for a little bit longer. Nothing. Okay. It's gonna be a real short video. Well, let's plug it in. Maybe it needs to be charged. Don't see any lights. Hold, please. Ah. The flash of light over here. Does that mean it's charging? Let's try to turn it on now that it's plugged in. No. Let's, Well, I guess let's multitask while it's charging. This is a 5-inch IPS screen. I'm not quite sure what the aspect ratio is. It's really wide. It might be 16 by 9. There's very minimal information on the actual website, and I haven't found an actual website for it. I'm only going off of AliExpress listings. And I guess the good thing is, if we can actually fire this thing up, is that you can buy this for between $30 and $40, which you could probably get a couple better handhelds for $30 to $40, but I bet you can't get one that's also a power bank. Huh? You're charging your phone, and while you're waiting for your phone to charge, let's hammer out some Game Boy Advance if this thing actually works. So we're gonna pop out the kickstand and let this guy charge. We'll get back to you shortly. All right, so disregard this giant cable plugged in because it's not charged yet. It's charging, but we're not charged yet. Just wanted to show you through the operating system here. It is a very, very bare bones. I feel like I've seen this before on like the M17 or the M18. It does ship with 15,326 games. Some of those are probably duplicates. You can go in by system. You have arcade, Genesis, Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, regular Game Boy, PlayStation, CPS 1 and 2, IGS, I don't even know what that is, and Neo Geo. Anything else? No. What's IGS? Looks like it's some sort of arcade. Okay. So, as you can see, this is a pretty wide screen, and there's no options. You can't go into menu here and change your settings. You might be able to go into the SD card and manually reconfigure things, but what you see is pretty much what you get. So let's just try some 4x3 stuff, see what it looks like. Ah, speakers are loud. I don't know where they're coming from. The back? Yes. It's decent. Your menu button gets you to return to the game, quit the game, save your progress. Looks like you have 6 slots. You can loading schedule, which I guess means load your save games, and then handle set. You can remap your controllers, I suppose. K is start. T is select. I don't know why it's TK, but whatever. Let's definitely go Donatello because of this color scheme. And that's stretched as all get out. I mean, there's no way around it. Your 4x3 stuff is going to look kind of funky on here. But I guess positives, your stick, shut up, April. Your control stick is already mapped and does a pretty decent job. The D-pad on here, it's, oh god, it's something. It's almost like a 3DS slider, except it doesn't slide, it just pivots around one central post. It's not good. It's probably one of the worst D-pads I've ever encountered, but here we are. I don't know. It's not a very good D-pad. But the game performance, weird aspect ratio aside, it's okay. It's a Super Nintendo game. I don't know what you were expecting. Let's try a 1-to-1 aspect ratio game. See how terrible that looks. That's something. Quiet. That is definitely something. Super Nintendo was manageable. 1-to-1. Ugh. Let's try a different Game Boy game just to... Oh, yeah. Yeah, the aspect ratio is just too stretched. Oh. It is time to schlafen. What's that? Sleep? Zeit zum Schlafen? Hast du vergessen, was uns Papa und Mama gesagt haben? Geh jetzt und Bett. That means get to bed. I can use context clues and cognates. Nein, nein, nein. I will leave mein Bed. Schweinhund. At least the S set looks good in this aspect. I can't. There's 1-to-1 games on here. Ugh. But you know what might look good? Game Boy Advance. Huh? Tell you what, this stick is way better at pulling off special moves than the actual D-pad. As Ray Charles or whatever looks on. Ugh. The audio on that's not good. I mean, this IPS screen is certainly vibrant. I like it. It's just... none of these games really match the aspect ratio of it. And it comes to a lot of Japanese and I guess German games too. Your ROM set's not very curated. Here we go! Second place ain't bad. Yeah, Actual gameplay on here is not... It's not great. Let's try some Tekken. I have a reasonable expectation of what this is supposed to feel like. Oh, stuttering mess. I mean, it's playable in the sense that you're watching me play it, but otherwise I'd probably say it's unplayable. It's very, very herky-jerky. Ugh. Tell you what, this thing's getting super hot while it's charging while I'm playing it. Right here. So I guess this is where maybe the battery is. Although you'd figure the whole back would be the battery. I don't know. Is that Sean Connery? Okay. So this thing's kind of a mess as far as gameplay goes. Let's turn it off, and I guess the only way to turn it off is just to hold down the power button. Don't like that. And I guess we're going to use this cool plug. You can see that it was pulling about 17 watts the whole time. Now that it's off, it's only drawing 13 watts. But that kind of matches up with the fact that it did advertise 17 watt fast charging. So let's see what we can get out of this. Oh, God. The opposite end of my charging cable plugged in. I'm going to try my first run cube with the really bad light bleed that I still have to fix. And you can see... Oh, turn right on. And it's pulling 7 watts. 8 watts now. Are you getting that? 9 watts even. So as a power bank, it's doing a decent job. Looks like we're maybe at 75% battery capacity after playing it and charging it. So I don't know what I was expecting. I thought maybe it would be a hidden gem. I thought Jaylash would try to trick me and say, haha, Zoo, I've sent you something trash. And I'd say, haha, Jaylash, it's not trash. It's treasure. But it's kind of trash. Well, it's time for What Did We Learn? And we learned that the GameMT E5 Jelly Donut, whatever the heck they want to call it, there's a lot of different names they throw on there, but whatever it is, the E5 is a $30 to $40 power pack. It is a 6,000 milliamp hour battery in it for your power pack enjoyment. And oh, by the way, it plays games. It doesn't play games great. It has the equivalent, maybe a little bit weaker, than a 3326 chip, which is fairly ubiquitous in the retro handheld scene. All your early Anbernic 351 stuff, the recent V10 from Powkitty, and a wide variety of systems. But it seems to be a little less powerful than that, and maybe some of that is because of this janky operating system we have here that's very, very bare bones. I wonder if maybe with some custom firmware, I don't know who is going to develop custom firmware for a battery pack, but maybe with some custom firmware, we'll get a little bit better performance out of this, but I wouldn't hold your breath. It is a 5-inch screen that is a very wide screen. To me, this seems like a 16:9 screen, and that's not ideally suited for any of the retro systems that this can play. The closest you're going to get is Game Boy Advance, and even that on here is a little hinky. It comes with 4,633 Game Boy Advance games, so you're probably not going to run out of options. But the gameplay on here is a little hinky, even with something that is wider. I mean, no matter how much you push it, 16:9 does not equal 3:2, but it's better than 4:3, or God forbid 1:1. Those Game Boy and Game Boy Color games on here, pewee, they're bad. But I guess maybe if you're crazy and you're looking for a battery pack, a power pack that also plays games, that just so happens to look like something that one of the Joker's henchmen would have had in Tim Burton's Batman, I guess maybe this is for you. It has a lot of stuff going for it. None of it's great. We didn't even explore HDMI. We didn't dig into the SD card because honestly, this isn't very good. But if this is your only port and there's a storm, you could plug it into your TV and, I don't know, maybe connect a controller with one of your USBs, but probably not. But you could sit it on your desk and kind of play like that. I don't know. I'm kind of grasping at straws here. Jaylash, you got me again. You sent me a real stinker and made me review it. I don't know. Don't buy this. I mean, maybe if you can get it for $15 as a gag gift, or heck, maybe you got a $30 limit on a white elephant coming this Christmas. This would definitely be a conversation starter for the company holiday party. But otherwise, there's just so much more you can buy for $40. I don't know that you could buy this exact thing for $40 from someone else, the combination of a power pack with a screen and controller, but it's definitely not a great gaming handheld and just kind of a power bank. You're not getting the best of both worlds. You're getting kind of a mid performance from both worlds, and you don't want that. In the end, I think it's probably a better use of your money to go spend, I don't know, $10, $20 on a dedicated power bank, something skinny you can just put in your pocket, and then spend $20 or $30 or $40 on a dedicated handheld that's also relatively small. Maybe like the Miu Mini or the Miu Mini Plus or the 35XX. Now you could probably get yourself a power bank yay wide, and then you have your XX, and you have the same physical footprint, the same purse or satchel carrying capacity, and you have two much better systems. So this has been your old buddy Zoo reviewing just a real oddball handheld / battery thing. Remember to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments, do you like when I do weird videos like this? Should Jaylash stop sending me things, or should he continue? Should he continue sending me video game things to review, or should he branch out? Send me a rice cooker, or I don't know, an air fryer. I'll review anything. I'll review a stand mixer. I can make a cake on video on our Retro Handhelds channel. That'll do great for the views, right? But who cares? Who knows? I don't know. I'm just some guy. And remember to take care of yourself, take care of each other, take care of your handhelds, take care of your stand mixers. Remember to clean them mixers real good, because you don't want old eggs in your new cake. That would probably get salmonella. No one likes that. Although, you could probably charge your phone while you're stuck on the toilet with this. Gotta look on the bright side of life sometimes.